Hello and welcome everyone. We're so glad you can join us for today's session on activating intent data from events. I'm Marcella Ritchie. I'm a senior event marketer and strategist, and I'm joined today by my co-host, Paige Trimble. Paige is a senior AE and event tech strategist with Certain. Howdy, Paige.
Hey, Marcella, happy to be here. Yeah, coming from the sales side, I've really seen firsthand how impactful event data can be when it's leveraged correctly. I'm really looking forward to diving in and sharing some key strategies for turning event data into a competitive advantage.
Thanks, Paige. It's a really good point because just collecting event engagement data isn't enough, is it? It's what you actually do with that data that makes all the difference. And that's what we're here to talk about today. So let's take a look at what we're going to be covering in today's session. First, we're going to take a quick look at event intent data, just to make sure we're all on the same page and using the same language when we talk about activating intent data from events. Next, we're going to walk through the pre-event phase and offer you some strategies to set you up for success. Then we'll dig into the actual capturing of buying signals that happens during the event and share some ways to ensure that you're taking relevant, meaningful action with your buyers. After that, we'll talk about how to activate intent data after the event for sales follow-up and share a few best practices for you to take away. And then we're going to finish up with a Q&A, so please feel free to drop questions into the Q&A throughout the conversation, and we'll get to those at the end. Now, before we dive into turning signals into sales, let's take a step back and talk about why it's so important to connect your events to results. Now, it's no secret that the majority of marketers are still struggling to prove event ROI. And I'm sure that sounds familiar to a lot of you in our audience. And why is that? It's because event data is often incomplete, fragmented, or just not integrated into CRM and marketing automation tools. And that makes it difficult to connect engagement to actual revenue.
Yeah, that's right. Teams can really often miss key insights, either underutilizing data or getting lost in all that noise. So, what sets high performing teams apart is the ability to capture, interpret, and act on real time event signals. And that's why we're here today to show you how to one, capture high value engagement signals before, during, and after your event, activate those signals for targeted follow up, and use AI powered insights to prioritize outreach and optimize future events. But first, let's hear from you. We'd love to do a poll now, and it'll pop up on your screen. And the question is, when it comes to turning event engagement into revenue, what's your biggest challenge? And we have 4 different options here. Pick the one that best matches your current biggest challenge. We'll take a second here while we wait on you all to answer the poll.
It's a tight race here. Okay, this is great feedback, folks. So it looks like the majority of you are not using event data at all to drive sales, which I'm glad you're here. Welcome. It is exactly why we were here today, right? The key to proving event ROI isn't just tracking who attended, it's understanding their buying intent and knowing how to act on it. So, Paige, let's start by breaking down what event intent data actually is and how it differs from just general event metrics.
Yeah, good idea. So intent data refers to the signals attendees exhibit before, during, and after an event that indicate their purchasing intent, right? So it goes beyond just general event metrics by assessing who is most likely to buy based on meaningful interactions. Some of the most valuable intent signals from events can include session registration, attendance, and engagement levels. Some examples of these would be, have they registered for specific sessions? Are they attending multiple product demos? Some other intent signals are poll responses, surveys, and Q&A interactions. Examples here would be if they're asking about specific features or asking about your pricing. Another intent signal would be like booth visits, networking behavior, and just general app usage. An example here would be, did they request a one-on-one meeting? Did they read your post-event follow-up email?
So what you're saying is that not all engagement is equal, right? Somebody who asks a specific pricing question is showing far stronger intent than someone who just watches a keynote. And if we
Exactly.
can, yeah, if we can track these behaviors in real time, then we can take action immediately, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay. So now that we understand the importance of intent data, let's walk through how to build the perfect event strategy to capture and activate it. And all of that starts before the event even begins, right? Pre-event planning is critical, but not just for organizing logistics. It's equally as important for ensuring that we're tracking the right intent signals and setting sales up for success. So Paige, from a sales perspective, what's the biggest opportunity that teams are missing in this phase?
Yeah, I would say one of the biggest gaps I see is not thinking beyond just the individual attendee, right? So events don't just attract a single buyer, they engage an entire buying group. So if we only track one contact from an account, we're really missing the full picture of who's involved in the whole decision-making process.
Yes. And this is a big shift in how we should be approaching event data, right? Instead of just looking at leads, we need to be thinking account first. So identifying and segmenting the entire buying group before the event even happens.
Mm.
So, with that in mind, Paige, can you walk us through how we categorize different levels of buyer intent to ensure that we're actually tracking the right people?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have first is high intent, right? Those people are asking pricing questions, multiple decision makers from the same account, and demo requests. Those are really the high intent. The next level is like mid-level interest, attendees targeted sessions, engage in industry. Another example would be engaged in industry specific content. And then the next would be like low intent. So this is just people that are doing general networking, or just other passive engagement, right? So those are three levels.
Yeah. So when we're all looking for those high intent um, prospects, right? So with a clear
Right.
picture of who those high intent prospects are, let's talk about where AI comes in. So AI is changing the game by taking a lot of the guesswork out of event follow up. It's helping us identify high intent attendees and prioritize our outreach, and then personalize engagement at scale so that your sales teams can actually focus on the right prospects at the right time. So let's take a quick look at some of certain AI powered solutions for attendee targeting and outreach. So first, we use AI to identify high value attendees based on past event behavior and website interactions. Then we tag high intent sessions and engagement triggers. So say, like we mentioned, attending a product focused session or viewing a demo video are flagged as high intent. And you can then deploy AI powered email and ad campaigns to target accounts with personalized messages. And then you can also leverage predictive analytics to prioritize outreach. Now, a powerful way that you can capture and activate data is through dynamic registration forms, right? These offer endless ways to capture valuable information and tailor attendee experiences based on interest. So you can use your registration forms to ask the questions that truly matter, right? Sky's the limit because this data then informs AI powered session recommendations. And those are going to suggest relevant sessions and networking opportunities to your attendees that are really going to make a difference in personalizing the experience.
Right. And by setting up intent tracking early, you're not just collecting data, you're shaping the whole attendee experience in a way that really drives conversations.
Exactly. So the next important factors are event data readiness and CRM integration, right? Setting up seamless data integration between your event management, CRM, and marketing automation tools is going to be essential to ensuring that all your data is going where it needs to, when it needs to, so sales can take action. And then additionally, setting up real-time dashboards and triggers allows you to actually take action in real time on those high intent signals throughout the event. Now, we're going to look at that more in a bit, but one last thing to note is the importance of sales and marketing alignment. I know Paige has got my back on this one. Getting your sales and marketing teams in on this strategy from the start means you're working in lockstep to identify and take action on your high intent event leads. You're really helping each other feed the right information to the right people. And that's going to make a big difference at the end of the day to each of your attendees. Okay, so once the event starts, we have this golden opportunity to capture buying intent in real time. But the key is knowing what to track and when to act. So Paige, can you shed some light on this from a sales perspective, please?
Sure. Yeah. From the sales side of things, real-time engagement tracking is really a game changer because it helps us identify high intent attendees while they're still engaging, right? So Certain event app, Touchpoint Ignite, it tracks session check-ins, booth visits, content consumption, and engagement across multiple stakeholders. So let's say, for example, a prospect participates in a live poll and notes that they're interested in a team management solution, which happens to be exactly what you sell. Our AI-powered interface translates that engagement into buying signals by identifying the prospects who've indicated interest in your offering. And that provides recommended follow-up based on this and other intent data shared throughout the event. Sales are then equipped with the buyer insights needed to take action in real time.
I love seeing this example in action, you know. And with that in mind, we're going to take a step back and just see what this looks like from start to finish, right? So you're a leading provider of team management solutions. Out of the way, Teams and Slack, here you come. Now, before your event, Sarah, a high value attendee, is registering for your event, and using your dynamic registration, she indicates that she's interested in a new team management technology. Yay. During the event, she attends your session on AI-powered team management and visits your booth. This is going to trigger a real-time notification to your sales team, who then extend an invite to an exclusive workshop. After the event, your AE sends an immediate personalized email to Sarah based on her buying signals, sharing a recent ebook on collaborative tech and inviting her to a demo. And then long-term, all of Sarah's interactions are going to be logged in your CRM, informing future sales and marketing efforts. So let's dig a little bit deeper into this post-event phase, right? Your event's over, but this is where the magic happens, activating that data into pipeline driving action. So Paige, let's talk about the shift from traditional event follow-up to real-time data-driven engagement, because things have really changed in recent years when it comes to post-event follow-up, haven't they?
Yeah, they sure have. So all the buyer insights from events help you take fast, relevant action that can set you apart from your competitors. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is to sit on those insights or ignore them completely. One cool stat that you see here on the screen is that 78% of B2B customers buy from the vendor who responds first. That's insane, right? So you've got to be the first to get there with a message that's relevant and shows that you understand your buyers. A lot of teams really fail at follow-up because they treat all attendees the same and without understanding their role in a buyer group. But the real event ROI comes from personalization that aligns with both the buyer journey and their respective buyer groups.
Exactly. It's this speed to lead combined with an
Right.
informed, tailored approach is what's going to set you apart. So, with that in mind, can you walk us through what the ideal post event sales activation looks like?
Yeah, absolutely. The dream post-event scenario for sales teams really starts with an immediate handoff. High intent accounts go straight to sales. This is then translated into, by the sales team, personalized outreach with follow-up messaging that aligns with the attendee engagement based on their engagement and role in the buying process. And then we're doing nurture campaigns with relevant ongoing engagement for those mid-intent leads to help progress deals. That's really the dream scenario.
Exactly. Love it. Okay. So, let's look at how we do this with Certain, right? Certain's AI turns engagement data into action by prioritizing leads, personalizing outreach, and optimizing event strategies. So it starts with data ingestion and segmentation. So your CRM and marketing automation data feeds into certain refining your audience profiles. And that turns into AI powered matching. So Certain AI recommends relevant sessions and networking opportunities. That's what you saw back there with the session recommendations. And then the actual buying signals capture, right? Certain captures that engagement, and those interactions are collected and then turned into insights and analytics. So buying intent is then identified and scored based on event behavior. And then last year left with actionable outcomes, right? Your data is flowing into your sales and marketing tools, and that's enabling personalized follow up and accelerates deals.
Yeah, I really love this slide, this visualization, because it really helps show how the sales and marketing event collaboration comes together through technology, which is, what Certain is, a technology solution. So, okay, this feels like a good time maybe to check in with the audience, with you all, and see how you're all handling event engagement and intent data. So we're going to do a quick poll again. Um, and the question is, when you're currently capturing intent data from your event attendees, when are you, sorry, put the emphasis on the wrong word there. When are you currently capturing intent data from your event attendees? And you got 4 answers here.
We are not currently capturing intent data. I love watching these results come in.
Yeah, so as of right now, it looks like, most people are not currently capturing event data. And so, hopefully you've picked up some valuable tips today to help take your intent data to the next level, just based on some of the stuff that we showed you.
Yeah, I mean, I know we've covered a lot in a short time here, so I want to just do a quick recap before we jump into the Q&A because we have some great questions coming in too. Um, so just to recap, before the event, right, success starts with identifying buying groups early, using AI to target high value accounts, and personalizing the attendee experience from the start through dynamic registration and smart session recommendations. During the event, it's all about tracking intent in real time and then using AI to prioritize engaged leads and enabling your sales teams to take immediate and informed action. And then after the event, fast follow-up is key, right? Personalized outreach based on attendee engagement and using predictive analytics to continuously improve future event strategy.
Yeah, I really would like to add here that events just aren't just like a marketing channel, right?
Yeah.
They're a really powerful sales tool, maybe the most powerful sales tool that you have. And so when you're capturing and activating intent data the right way, events don't just generate leads, they really fuel the entire pipeline, accelerating deals and can connect with the right buyers at the right time, right? If you're doing it correctly, right? So the key is making sure you're not just collecting that data, but actually using it to drive revenue. And so with Certain's AI powered event intelligence, you really can do that. And that's what we're enabling you to do.
Thanks, Paige. That's a really good point. I'm going to give you a virtual high five on that one because I think as a marketer, we really see, and I think a lot of people really see events from the marketing lens, but the whole purpose is to fuel sales and to give sales that intelligence, right? So,
Right.
okay, let's take a look at some of the great questions that have come in from our audience. I see one. I'm going to take this one page.
Right.
So somebody asked, we're capturing a ton of engagement from our events, but how do we actually know which signals indicate real buying intent? It's a great
Good question.
question.
Yeah.
And I think we covered some of this, but I think, it starts with defining which actions historically correlate with pipeline movement. So, for
Yeah.
example, right, like we said, attending a product focused session or interacting in a Q&A, requesting follow-up, these are much stronger indicators than passive behaviors like simply registering. Certain AI powered suite of solutions definitely lets you pinpoint that high value engagement so that you can get a clear view of who's ready to talk to sales. Um, yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's,
Yeah. I
yeah,
think
I
you
hope
covered
that
that.
answers that. I hope
Yeah.
that answers the question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. What's the best way to get sales to act on event signals quickly? That's a great question, without overwhelming them with too much data.
Ah.
So obviously, part of it was the communication between marketing and sales, like having that communication earlier, like before the event. So the post-event like sales follow-up is something that you've already spoken about, and so they're already prepped and primed and they know. So speed here and clarity are key, right? The communication between marketing and sales. Totally agree on the sales side that sales doesn't need a fire hose, they just need like actionable summaries. So if you're able to give sales a quick like summary of how that attendee engaged, that can be really powerful. Just take it a step further that, here at Certain, we offer a clean, prioritized lead insights and easy to understand dashboards. So those highlighted top accounts are engaged, kind of bubble up to the top as well. So if you're able to do that, like the pre-event, the post-event really falls into place, because sales is already prepped and
Yeah,
understands what to do. So
that's a good one.
yeah. Another
Okay.
question here. How can we personalize our follow-up based on attendee behavior without a huge manual lift? Um, you can really use AI here. This is really where automation and AI shine. You really want to have a personalized approach. Um, and so you don't just want to like plug AI in and just have it run. You really want to like
Yeah.
use AI, but then use the personalization to come in. So with Certain, you can build smart follow-up workflows that adapt based on what the attendees did during their event. And I have an example of that might be like someone who attended a session, like maybe a technical session, might get a product comparison guide. And then while someone who visited a pricing page or something different, right, gets a calendar link from sales. So you're like engaging the people in different ways based on what it is that they're after and what they need. It's all really built on engagement logic. So the personalization happens at scale
Yeah.
and no manual sorting is required. And that's a powerful tool.
Nice
Not, don't mean to
answer,
just
Paige.
plug Certain, but that's obviously why I'm here, and something that we really do great and shine at, right?
Agree. I
Yeah.
totally agree. I love that answer. Okay, so respective of time here, and any other questions that came in, we'll definitely be following up with everyone. And then do make sure to check out, we'll send an email after this that has a link to the recording, but we also have some other really great assets that help kind of give you a better sense of the topic and might be really useful to you and your team to share. So I just want to once again thank everyone again for joining us.
Yeah.
And look, if today's discussion resonated with you, let's take it further. Because I know we'd love to show you how Certain helps your team capture, activate, and accelerate event driven pipeline. So do give us a shout. Before you go, don't forget to visit our website, schedule a one on one demo with our team. If you're lucky, you'll get Paige. Connect with us on LinkedIn for more tips and updates. We're constantly sharing new stuff there. And then definitely subscribe to our newsletter for the latest updates. You can do that at our website, certain.com. And thank you to my co-host, Paige. It was a
Thanks,
pleasure.
Marcella. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing your brain with us.
Yeah. Great talking to you today and look forward to doing it again.
Thanks,
All
everybody.
right.
We'll see you next time.
All right. Bye bye.